Welcome back to Factory Sealed. It is December 23rd, 2014. What was that, Jess?
I choked.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Thanks for trying to save it and not derail the intro. I like it.
I tried so hard.
It was a great effort. My name is Eric Peterson, and I am joined today by, obviously, the choking Jess Clarkson.
Yes.
Mr. Nick Stevens.
Hello, hello.
And ladies and gentlemen, back behind the microphone for the first time since, I'm pretty sure, I have no idea, Kevin Byer.
I still don't think you're actually streaming this because I'm looking on Twitch and I can't find it, and I don't know how to work this stuff. This is crap.
Do you need me to put a folder in the Dropbox that says, look here for games, Kev?
Yeah, that would actually work really well for both of us. Mostly me.
Well, the link, twitch.tv/honestpizza, it is definitely streaming.
I'm not clicking on that link. It could lead me anywhere.
Yeah, well, in lieu of the North Korean hacks, you really got to be careful with what you click.
Absolutely. I'm can never be too safe about that.
I'm not clicking any internet links, ever.
For the rest of my life.
I don't know how to get around the internet.
At least until I make an alliance with the North Koreans so that they'll basically let me do whatever I want.
Well, obviously. Did you find it,
They
Kevin?
have so much power to force you to not do things.
Such a well thought out statement.
I know. About halfway through, I was like, I should just give up.
It kind of sounded like you were ready to give up and you wanted someone to jump in, but we just left you hanging.
Thanks, guys.
You gotta be
Appreciate it.
careful because North Korea might not let this podcast get released. So we gotta be careful what we say.
Dear.
Yeah, but Obama just kiboshes all that.
He
I
doesn't
didn't pay attention
do
to that.
anything.
Obama's my best friend.
I know, we talked about that in Vegas.
That's why Canada's better than the States, because our leader at least does stuff.
Yeah, get high on cocaine and go out with hookers.
Well, that's the
mayor
other
of
leader.
Toronto.
That's the one who's gonna be the next prime minister.
Could you imagine?
No, he had to drop out of the mayoral race because he has he has cancer.
Oh yeah, some sort of
Cancer. But his brother stepped in, who is just as much of a joke. It's so ridiculous.
That guy's got to be an absolute blast to see on daily news.
It's hilarious. He gets drunk and just walks around Toronto, and people take pictures with him.
Does he has he done anything positive for Toronto?
There's a lot of people in his Ford Nation that will say he helped with subways, he lowered taxes, he did all this stuff, but
Well, then what's everybody up on his
realistically,
case
not
about? I
really.
mean, let the guy enjoy his fame.
Because nothing really happened. He didn't actually do anything. He just, yeah. He's
Sounds
terrible.
like he did. I mean, he lowered taxes. What tax-paying citizen doesn't want lower taxes?
But he didn't actually lower them. People just say he did. He didn't do anything.
Oh,
sounds to me like he's the best kind of mayor.
yeah. Says he does a bunch of stuff, gets people to believe that he does a bunch of stuff, and doesn't do anything.
Just does cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cocaine?
That's successful politics.
I mean, this guy
For
sounds
sure.
like he's White House material.
I think he also embezzled money for his hockey team that he was coaching or something.
Allegedly.
But that's
Yes.
passable in Canada, right? Anything for hockey?
Yeah.
Basically.
That guy sounds like a blast. It's you know it's a big deal when he makes news down here.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there's
My
that.
sister, because she lives in America, she's like, it's embarrassing that that's the only reason why people know where I live.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The mayor that does crack. Yeah, that one.
Yay, Crackmare.
And I think he was on Colbert as well, too.
Was he?
I think. Or Jon Stewart, one of them had him on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's done a couple late night shows.
Which is also hilarious.
I'm gonna have to make a note to look those up because That guy cracks me up. He's just a reality TV show waiting to happen.
Pun intended.
What pun?
Cracks you up.
I get it.
Good one, Jeff.
That was a dad joke.
I refrained from sending you more dad jokes. Actually, I did save one of those walking dad jokes to text to you, and I never did. So I may have to put that on my list of things to send to you because it was pretty funny. Oh, it was
wait.
What's the difference between snowman and snow woman? Snowballs, Jess. Snowballs.
So bad.
Those are actually that's not a kid joke.
No.
I've got dad jokes all day. I could just do an hour-long podcast of dad jokes.
I feel like if you and I ever got together with our kids, it would just be string upon string of dad joke.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Even my kids roll their eyes sometimes. So.
Aren't your kids only like 2?
And 5, yeah.
So your dad jokes must be really bad.
Oh, they're the best.
That's good. Kevin, what have you been up to lately? I haven't really talked to you lately since our trip to Vegas.
Yeah, since Vegas. That's because, we saw so much of each other that it just kind of got weird for a minute.
Yeah, quite literally saw so much of each other.
Yeah. A lot of stories.
I still look fondly upon that picture where we're all sitting out by the pool, and for some reason you decided to try to tie an ice cube to your chest hair.
Oh, yes, I do remember that. I still think that we could have made it happen, but I don't think my fingers were dexterous enough with the amount of alcohol I had consumed.
No,
I was trying to make little holes in them so then you could wrap them around your chest hair.
It was a valiant effort.
Yeah, no, I really think that it's something that if we practiced, we could absolutely make happen.
You could go on the road with a stick.
Yeah, we'll be like a circus sideshow where all we do is tie ice cubes into my chest hair.
That is a pretty grand feat because tying a knot in hair really isn't that easy.
Well, I mean, if you have like really long hair, it's really, really easy.
Yeah, but it doesn't stay in a knot.
Doesn't it?
No. Jess, tie your hair in a knot right now. Let us know how it goes.
Yeah, if you tie really thin strands of hair in a knot, it'll stay.
Really?
I've tested this multiple times when I've been bored. So if you do like little tiny strands, they'll stay in a knot. But if you do big chunkers, it won't.
See, that
what
was
if you
our fault.
I mean, obviously you can't just do like shoelace knots, but what if you do like sailor knots, like those crazy knots? That might stay.
Like a triple L-ridge knot?
Yeah, like something like that, like a triple L-ridge knot. Exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
My hair is up in a braid right now, so it's giving me limited. I can only act with my bangs.
What about like a
But
noose?
isn't a braid essentially a knot?
Yeah, but it'll fall apart if I don't have a hair tie in there. And I don't know how to do fancy sailor knots, so like this plan is falling apart.
You can do bunny ears, like tie your shoes knots, and that's it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Is there anything wrong with that? Nothing wrong with limited knot abilities.
Well, next time we go to Vegas, we'll have to reattempt. Maybe we can land a headlining show.
I think next time we should just go to Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
Because then it's just relaxing on the beach and getting drunk. Like there isn't even pretending to do anything else.
You don't have to
you don't
worry
go to
about your
Mexico.
suitcase of money. You just go, and if you can make it to the beach for the week, you're golden.
Yeah, I don't even need a suitcase. I just need a pocket full of cash.
And at that point, you probably don't even need to bring that. Just put it all in your resort hotel.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just tell the little cabana boy, like, hey, Jose, come here. 16 more margaritas.
Well, you just go all-inclusive, and then you don't even have to worry about that. Never leave the resort.
That's true, because we were starting to run out of tables where we were staying, because we kept pulling tables over, but more people didn't show up. It was just a place to put our cans.
You guys didn't even come swimming at all.
No, we did
Well, we
not.
went to the pool and spectated the swimmers.
We were swimming in
It's true.
alcohol.
We were pretty judgmental.
Well, that was mostly your fault. You were telling us, "Oh, look at that one! Look at that one!"
Yeah, you were the worst. Like for girls, I always thought they're actually no. Girls are pretty catty, aren't they?
I wasn't necessarily judgmentally bad.
You were observant.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they call that people watching, right?
Yeah, that's the
watch
best.
people walk by and make up stories. Yeah, that is fun.
What do you
By the way, I just had to rip a strand of hair out of my head because it was knotted and would not come out.
Because you tied it in a knot.
Because I tied it in a knot.
Nice. Okay, so it is confirmed. Next time, Kev.
It's a great opening conversation. Yes.
Sorry. I have distracted.
I like it.
I mean, we did have all that time to plan the script out and
Yeah.
bounce these jokes off each other.
Yep, and this is the third time we've pressed record, so we've had time to practice the jokes. Hopefully it worked. So, Kev, are you still doing the Manitank podcast that we got so unceremoniously booted from?
Yes, I am now back on that.
What?
We are doing weekly shows, except for this week because it's Christmas, so that's why I'm on here, because I got to get my one podcast a week quota in.
Yeah. What made you change your mind from I can't commit?
I don't know.
You missed it
It's
too
just
much,
fate.
huh?
It's just I came back from the future and told myself that I had to go back to the show.
You'll miss it.
Yeah. It was a very, very Wesley Snipes, Demolition Man kind of a moment.
You look nothing like Wesley Snipes, though.
I pretty much look exactly like Wesley Snipes. Snipes. Except without all the tax evasion.
That's a thinking man's joke. How well do you keep up on your current events?
But yeah, speaking of that, I'm going to take a minute here to plug our New Year's show happening January 3rd at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Pretty sure it's January 3rd. I hope it's January 3rd, otherwise I just totally missed my chance.
It is.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I don't know what time.
So yeah, I'm going to be there. Eric's going to be there.
I'm not going to be there.
At least Eric is supposed to be there.
I was never invited.
I'm pretty sure...
Likely story.
I'm pretty sure that you were.
No, Matt has
Maybe not officially, but I'm officially inviting you now, and if anybody else got a problem with that,
take it up with Kate.
gloves are coming off.
Yeah, nope, he never invited me. You'll have to.
What a dick.
You should bring it up really awkwardly live on the next show.
Well, there's not going to be another show in between now and that show, so.
Okay.
That's when you just show up, Eric. Hey guys, what's up?
Hey, I'm here.
Just act like, yep.
Did you at least bring a six-pack?
No, but I brought this
That's all that's
Texas
required.
Mickey. Maybe I'll just fly up there again.
Yeah,
You
just
call
for...
them Texas Mickeys down there?
No, but Kev taught me the joy of a Texas
Oh, okay.
Mickey.
Yes, they are joyful.
So, we didn't really play any games for this week. We're kind of putting this show. Hold on. Is there anything else anybody else wants to talk about before we move on?
We could always talk about Kim K.
I've actually got my finger hovering over "kick you from the call" in case that came up. Oh,
Whatever.
I had surgery Friday.
There you go.
Yeah. So
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling. So they called me the night before and said we had our first case cancel, so we're bumping you up, which I was actually excited about because they don't let you eat anything after midnight, and my surgery wasn't supposed to be until almost noon, and then the surgery would be 3 hours, and then they keep you in the hospital for a couple hours, and by the time you get home, it would have been almost 5 o'clock, so it would have been 20 hours that I'd actually not eaten anything. So they moved me up, and was happy about that, but I get in, and I usually don't have a problem with needles, but this lady, for some reason, decided she wanted to give me the IV on the underside of my forearm, because she's looking at all my veins, and I used to donate plasma, so there's this big bulging vein sticking out of the middle of my elbow that's really, really good for IVs. And she's looking at all my veins, and she's like, oh, there's a really good one down here under your forearm. I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're looking at, but I guess I'm not the doctor. And she's like, well, we're going to put the IV in there. So she goes and jams it in, and then decides to commentate the entire happenings afterward. And I've got a pretty vivid imagination, and I can picture what's going on. And she didn't get it in. She just put it under the skin, and then she's like, oh, this vein likes to move around. We got to chase this guy around in here. And like, I can feel her moving the needle around. And I'm sitting here going, I'm not doing well. I'm getting kind of lightheaded, just to let you know. She's like, yeah, your veins are kind of loose under here. We just got to chase this guy around. And he just doesn't want to stop moving. And then she leans over her shoulder and she's like, hey, Sarah, you want to come over here and take a look at this and see if you can get this? I'm like, Jesus, this is not helping at all. And she's just wiggling this whole thing around like it's a fucking joystick trying to get it in my vein. And this other nurse comes by and she's like, well, he's got a really good vein in his elbow. We could just use that one. Like, obviously. She's like, but no, let me try to get it in this one down here since you've got it in already. So she tries and can't get it in. And they're just moving this whole shit around, and I'm about to pass out. And finally, I just say, please just take it out and put it in the other one. She's like, yeah, that'd probably be a good idea. So I took it out right into the elbow and first shot. She's like, oh, that was easy.
That happens to me every single time. Like, I've never had an IV experience where I've gone in and gotten it first shot. Never. Ever.
I never usually have an issue with it. But this one, I've never had, like, even looking at my veins under my forearm right now, I can see where the major ones go, and where she stabbed me, there is nothing there. So I don't know if she rerouted the entire vein to a different side of my arm, but it's not there.
I don't think that's possible.
Well, I don't know. Maybe she just felt like being a little bit of a masochist. But no, the surgery went well. When I was getting ready to go in, I always thought that they gave you sedative before they take you into the OR, because my previous surgeries, they always had. This one, they just threw me on the gurney, and it was like, all right, let's wheel you in. And as I'm going in, I'm talking to the nurse, like, do you guys record these? Like, could you videotape this for me? And she's like, no, we don't videotape it, but since it's arthroscopic, we could take a bunch of pictures. So I've got like 4 pages of just gross-ass pictures inside my hip. But
that's so cool.
Yeah, it's actually really cool.
You should have used those for Christmas cards this year.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas from my broken hip. But
my sister says hi.
No, as I wheel in, the doctor was telling me about this contraption that they have to put me in to pull my. They don't pull my leg out of joint. They put it in what's called traction. But for simple people, basically they pull your leg out of joint. But to do it, they put you on this stretcher with a big rod that goes between your legs. And for guys, that's not a comfortable position at all to have anything down there. And then they put this boot on your leg that they need to pull out, and then they tug. So they pull you against this rod, like mash all of your stuff against this rod and pull your leg out. And I see all of this. I'm sitting here going, fuck, I wish they would have given me some medication before I came in here. And they had me transfer over to the table and lay back and outstretch my arms. And the only thing I'm thinking is, like, this has got to be what death row inmates see before they die. You know, big lights and, like, they have me laying out crucifix style. And the doctor's like, okay, we're going to give you a little bit of your medication here. So they give me some of it, and I was expecting the anesthesiologist to pop over and he's like, all right, let's count back from 100 and laugh at me making it to 99, but he just went out, and that's the last thing I remember. Didn't say anything. The next thing I remember, I'm yelling at some guy across the recovery room telling him to get some because he's getting up after surgery trying to walk, and that was me coming out of surgery.
Nice.
But I can't.
Did you get popsicles?
No, they didn't give me anything.
They always give popsicles, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I don't even have any at home.
Apparently, orange popsicles are the best.
They gave
to get rid of the yucky feelings.
They gave me Percocet, which I don't know how people can get addicted to prescription drugs, because that shit sucks. I've got like 53 pills of it left because I took one and said no thanks.
Where do you live again?
Arizona.
Hold on, 53 pills of what?
What's the going rate on those right now? About $83 a pill. Do I have to claim that on customs? Boy, have I got a deal for you. But yeah, I can't walk for the next month, so I'm on crutches, and it's been fun.
Have you been put under before? Is that the first time you've had any type of
No,
surgery?
it's about the fourth time.
Oh wow! See,
Yeah.
I got to get my wisdom teeth pulled finally, and I haven't been put under ever.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I know. I had dentists for my whole life tell me it wasn't a problem, and just here recently they did another X-ray, and it's looking pretty bad. So it'll be the first time I've ever been put under, and I'm being a big baby about it. So
It's not bad. It's
Being put
actually
under
kinda fun.
is crazy. It's fun, yeah.
The best part is the lead up to being put under, because you're still kind of coherent to what you're saying, but you just don't give a crap what comes out of your mouth anymore.
just like wacky, yeah.
And then when you wake up, there's like a 3 to 5 minute period where you just don't remember anything, but you're just freaking off the wall.
Yeah. So like I'm almost 30 and I haven't had my wisdom teeth removed, so it's gonna be.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
crazy that it lasted this long.
I mean, I don't have any pain. It's just the one. It's one that's in the bottom, like the bottom right, and it's coming in all crooked, and I haven't felt any pain. So I don't know. I've had 3 opinions.
I had mine out when I was like,
said I need it removed, so I might as well do it.
I think I had mine out when I was 16, and I had 3.5, and I swallowed so much blood recovering that I formed an ulcer at the base of my esophagus.
Oh gosh.
So yeah,
That's hilarious.
don't swallow the blood.
Don't do that. Huh? Yeah.
Try to spit
Note
it out.
taken.
When I had my wisdom teeth out, I was eating pizza 8 hours later, and then the next day I had a party and got drunk.
Oh wow.
That was like me. My mom was so excited to have like a quiet afternoon and day without me talking. And like I woke up and I was like, Mom, it feels like every Saturday night. And she's like, what? No, I think it's not funny. And then I went home. Within a half an hour, I was eating like solid food.
Oh,
It was
man.
crazy.
I think I was out for like 3 days. I just couldn't do
Wow.
anything. It sucked. Like I finally got out of bed or off the couch yesterday to go out and about. And it sucked.
I think us Canadians are a little tougher when it comes to surgery.
I think that's really the only explanation.
I've discovered that
Yeah,
people
because
are
I'm-
super rude down here too, because I had to stop and get gas, and I'm just crutching up to the gas station, and like 3 people came out the door. Every single one of them made eye contact with me, and every single one of them just kept moving. Not a person decided like, oh, let me help you.
Really?
Yeah, let me help you. And as I'm walking out, I asked the lady, I'm like, can I have a bag for all this? So I put it on my crutch, and I'm following a guy out the door. He knew I was behind him, and he just opens the door far enough for him to get out and then lets it close. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
I'm always so like passive aggressive with that, and I'll be like, "Thank you so much."
Oh, I thought you were going to say, like, whenever I see somebody with crutches, I make sure to slam the door on them.
No, when someone doesn't hold the door open, I'm like, "Thank you, thanks so much."
Thanks, I appreciate it. It's really easy to open doors with crutches.
Yeah,
you
but
feel
in the
like-
States, if you were to say that to someone, he probably would have turned around and shot you. So
Yeah, and then you'd have riots.
Now, see, in my little town, I mean, it's a tiny little town. It's like Mayberry from, Happy, or not Happy Days, whatever, the Andy Griffith show. I mean, like, you open a door for someone, they feel like they got to open it back for you. It's like you never want to be owed a favor. Like I remember when I moved into a bigger city and I broke down on the side of the road. No one stopped and helped me, and I just thought that was the worst thing in the world. Because if you break down in my little town, I mean, you have like 3 or 4 people helping you. And
You break down
That's
on the
the
side of the
door.
road here, people come and steal your tires.
yeah, exactly.
Have you ever been stuck holding the door? Like you hold it and then you just keep holding it, and the people that you're with are like 10 minutes down the way, and you're still holding the door for the stream of people.
Yeah.
Happened so many times.
I went to Vegas a few years back and decided to play a game with my sister called Who Can Go the Longest Without Opening a Door for Themselves. And the whole day was just spent running around trying to sneak in the doors behind people, or just standing by the door waiting for somebody else to walk in and then trailing in behind them. It's like the exact opposite of being polite. It's like, I need somebody to open this for me.
We were going to play that in Vegas, and then we forgot.
That's right. We got too busy drinking.
Yep.
So,
Oh.
well, we should probably move on to something video game related.
actually, I have one more question about your being lied up on a couch for a month.
Yes.
Do you have a big list of video games that you're going to play while you're on the couch?
I do. It kind of sucked because I'm on 2-week Christmas vacation right now, so I'm like, all right, I get a bunch of days to play games. But the first 4 days, I was so miserable that I just didn't even want to look at a TV screen, so I lost 4 days there. But yeah, I want to definitely finish Suikoden 1 and then probably move on to 2. But like you and I were talking about, I kind of want to start tackling Final Fantasy 8 again. But right now I'm kind of burning through my backlog of games from this year to finish up, like Walking Dead Season 2 and The Wolf Among Us and just some other miscellaneous stuff. But yeah, it's kind of
so
cool.
Are you on board with the Game of Thrones game? Have you watched the show or the books?
I tried reading the books, never really got into it, and I've never seen an episode of the show, so no, the game does not appeal to me.
You're missing out.
Sad times. Have you played the game, Jess?
No, I haven't.
What is wrong with you people?
I know. I'm limiting myself because of how much schoolwork I have, which is terrible.
I was kind of shocked when they decided to do a Minecraft version.
Yeah, that's probably going to be really terrible.
Yeah, but it's a cash cow. It's just put Minecraft on anything and it just prints money.
It's Minecraft Game of Thrones?
No, Minecraft.
Is it DLC
Telltale.
or?
No, it's Telltale's doing a dedicated Minecraft game.
Oh wow!
So they're taking a game that has no story, that people have no connection to the characters other than their own personal world, and creating a story out of it, I guess.
They made it work for Borderlands.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, Kev, I've got a backpack with all of my laptop and my iPad and my DS and my Vita and like game controllers in it that I just hobble around the house with, so that no matter where I end up sitting, I've got access to something. It kind of sucks though, because I can physically do nothing. Like I can't even get myself a soda out of the fridge. I just sit on the couch like, Christy, I need this. And then if Ellie is crawling on the floor and she's getting into something dangerous, all I can do is sit there and go, ooh.
You need to get you like a little bell.
I need to get one of those Billy Mays gophers so I could grab her from a distance. Like, hey, get off there. I don't think they make those anymore.
Well, I'm sure you can make your own.
It's just a stick with a spring and a trigger.
Yeah, you could probably turn one of your crutches into it.
Hey, get out of there. Thing's 7 feet long as it is. It's poker. So video games.
No problems with that.
Yeah, video games. Like I said, we didn't play anything in particular for this week. We just kind of wanted to get together and talk about some of our favorite video game Christmas memories, because I don't know about you guys, but me growing up, Christmas was synonymous with video games. I generally didn't get games throughout the year unless I bought them myself. But Christmas rolled around and it was just like fucking hog heaven with games rolling in. So,
yeah, big time.
Kevin, Jess, I want to add anything intelligent to that?
Oh, yeah, totally.
No, I'm just getting angrier by the moment because I basically never got video games ever for Christmas.
Really? What did your parents buy you? Socks and underwear every Christmas?
Well, there was socks and underwear. I mean, that was always the worst part of Christmas when you were younger, at least.
Oh, it's the best part now.
Oh, I know. That's why it's crazy.
The last thing I want to do is go out and spend $11 on a pack of underwear.
$11 for underwear? Are you kidding me?
You guys, like Christy, I don't remember the last time Christy's actually paid for underwear. Girls get free underwear all the time. So why are you complaining?
I'm sorry, where is this magic land of free underwear?
Victoria's Secret. Sign up for their mailing list and they give you a damn free panty ticket every 3 weeks.
Don't you have to sign up? Isn't that like being a paid member?
Yeah, no, isn't that with the credit card?
No.
I'm pretty sure she's just playing you. She has signed up for this thing for the last 8 years, and it's cost you thousands of dollars a year. No, they're free, honey, I swear.
You get a free gift from Victoria's Secret up here for your birthday.
It's got to be like every 2 or 3 months she's getting this coupon in the mail for free underwear. It's crazy.
That is
There needs to be something like that for guys.
Cray. Gosh.
Like, is there a Hanes store somewhere around or a Fruit of the Loom store that I can give them my email address?
So I go to get all your underwear at the dollar store. They got Hanes and Fruit of the Loom.
That's the worst. Like, shopping for socks and underwear as a full-grown adult is the worst because you can afford it, but it's the last thing you want to spend your money on.
Yeah.
It's like the video game aisle is just like 5 aisles down and it got these fucking underwear. And then I pick it up and I was like, you know what? I don't need it. Those other 8 pairs will last another 2 months, and I set it down. And then I get home and immediately wish I would have bought new underwear.
I remember my parents would, I'd get underwear and socks for Christmas, but they'd wrap my video games inside the underwear just to mess with me. That was always funny. It's like crap underwear again.
And then you just throw it to the side and they're like, you'll never find the game and we can return it.
Exactly.
I suppose you get excited about
funny
it
thing
now, though.
Yeah, and the funny thing about getting video games for Christmas, my dad was a gamer, and I didn't realize this until later on in life, but every time I got a system, it was always already opened, and I found out later he was playing it like months ahead of time during the night when I go to sleep, and just put it back in the closet when he was done. So it's like I'd always have used systems because of that.
Your dad
That's
sounds
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So-
not me.
Kev, you were stuck purchasing all your own games?
Yeah, but I mean that's why I do have like one Christmas video game memory because there was the one year, the first system I ever got, the Nintendo, old school Nintendo. I got that for Christmas. Me and my brother got it, and we got that, and we got Super Mario Brothers 3, and it was the greatest Christmas ever.
That's gotta be. That was probably after you'd watched The Wizard, so all you'd wanted was Mario 3.
Oh yeah, that was definitely after The Wizard.
It's like, dude, can you wait to play that? Oh, neither can I. I'm going to be so much better at that level than you because I've watched The Wizard like 5 times.
I don't remember ever getting our SNES. Like, it was just always there.
That's kind of how mine was, too. Because I think I came into cognitive thought at some age where we'd already had the NES, so it's just like, oh, okay. You know,
it was always there for me.
For our kids, they won't remember getting iPads or flat screen TVs. They'll just be like, always there.
Yeah. And that's sad because when you ask a kid that age, you know, when they're older, what your first video game you ever played is going to be Angry Birds or something. Candy Crush. Like, oh, that sucks.
No way. Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
1.
Final Fantasy, yeah. But you talk about the SNES. That was my best memory of Christmas. I was probably 7 or 8 years old when that came out, and that was the first system that was actually mine. Cause I have a brother that's 6 years older than me, so the NES was his, the Atari was his. So I finally had my own Christmas present, which was the Super Nintendo, and of course the game was Super Mario, and I got like Street Fighter 2, and that was the Christmas I can remember most. That and getting the PlayStation, but that one in particular because the Super Nintendo was kind of the system I grew up with that kind of got me into gaming. And, you kind of start with there. And like you, Eric, I probably didn't get another video game that year until Christmas time. Renting games was where I played most of mine. I'd go rent them every weekend. But actually owning the game itself, I'd get 2 or 3 every Christmas, and that'd have to last me the rest of the year.
Well, I think getting games back then was kind of different than it is now because, like you said, renting games was a little bit more common sense because you could beat games a lot quicker. And they weren't necessarily, unless you're playing an RPG or something like that, games that were meant to have longevity. And you just go to the store and you'd rent it for the weekend, and it would cost you maybe $4. And you're like, all right, that was good. And then maybe a few weekends later, you get it again, or you get a different game. And that way, you didn't have to worry about purchasing shitty games and being stuck with a game that you can beat in 45 minutes.
Yeah. And what really sucked is if you're playing a game that you have to save and you take it back, you want to rent it again the next week. You're just hoping and praying that someone didn't delete your save.
Oh yeah, or you get the same cartridge that had your game save on it.
Yeah, that's what you. Yeah.
Did you ever?
I'd actually. I actually wrote down. I wrote down like the stock number of the card I take back, and I'd get back and ask the guy, "Hey, can you give me this one if you have it?"
Oh, see, you're smarter than I was. I just took a permanent marker and I marked the underside of it.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Pardon, Mister? I hate when I buy used games, and the little kids have written with them on marker.
I didn't write "This was Eric's" all over it. I put like a little.
And I write it. on games that don't even belong to me. Truth comes out.
That's the
He
thing.
writes little threats. Delete my game. You're dead, buddy.
I will cut you. That's a good point. I never thought about that. Maybe I should be more. Maybe I should be a little bit more forgiving as I'm scrubbing the names off of the used games I buy now. Not so vengeful. Shoot. You got me. Now I feel bad.
Touche.
So does Jess have a memory?
Not as many as the Richie McRichtersons over there. I was really excited one year that we got our purple N64. That was really exciting.
Those didn't come out right away, did they? Those were like 2 years afterwards, weren't they?
Yeah, speaking of renting, we would rent games and rent the console as well.
I remember renting consoles too. That was always the best.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
it was
N64 was
so exciting because we
sweet.
saw the box for N64, and then it was purple, so
Wait.
that was even cooler.
Which purple one did you have? Did you have the
clear
dark
purple one.
dark purple or the super clear light purple?
Oh yeah, no, the dark see-through purple,
Okay.
not the really light purpley gray one.
Yeah, that one was easily the coolest. But
Obviously.
that's back when they did consoles in a bunch of different colors. I don't know why they don't anymore.
Yeah, because they had the green.
Yeah, they had like 6 different. I want to say like 6 or 8 different colors for that N64.
Well, they had black,
Yeah,
then they had see-through black. They had 2 different blues, a green, a red, an orange, and
Yeah. And they had a Pikachu version.
purple. The Pikachu.
I want to
they
say
had the
that there
light
wasn't
pink.
an orange. I don't think there was an orange.
There is. There is a
There is.
see-through orange.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here they are.
Was
Purple, teal, green, orange, see-through black, and red.
And Pikachu.
Pikachu. That Pikachu one was pretty ugly, though.
Yeah, it is.
Shut up! It was beautiful.
No, it was not. That thing was hideous.
Put Pikachu on anything, and it's beautiful.
I miss the N64 console. That thing's just a piece of beauty. I would have to say, for me, one of my favorite Christmas memories was, obviously, I know I've talked about this before, but the year that I got an N64 and a PlayStation in the same, it was probably like 2 days apart, but I got my N64 first, and for some reason Blockbuster was still open on Christmas Eve. So my grandma took me down there, and we rented the only N64 game they still had in stock, which was Shadows of the Empire, which to this day is still one of my favorite N64 games. I don't know if it's because the game is really that good, or is the first N64 game I ever played, so it just kind of like I imprinted with it as being a good game. But the next day I was at my mom's house for Christmas, and I don't know how she did it, but she saved up enough to buy me a PlayStation, and I was just ecstatic. And I wasn't living with her at the time, and packed up all my gifts, and I was walking out to the car, and she was going to take me back down to my dad's house, and I, being a little kid and not following my mom's directions, hadn't gone out and shoveled the driveway. So it's super snowy and covered in ice, and I'm carrying this $500 PlayStation in its box, and I slip and drop the damn thing all over the ground. Still worked, but whenever I carry my shit, I'm a little bit more careful now.
That's making my palms get sweaty right now. That's terrifying.
Yeah, I dropped it, and I went, oh my God, my mom's going to kill me. And she goes, oh, well, you dented the box, and put it in the back of the car, and we went on our way. But probably the most, for me, I always like to give video games to my cousins because their parents didn't really buy them games. And I think at the time I was working at GameStop, so I always would get good deals on stuff. But one of my uncles, he didn't hate games. He just didn't want to buy games for his kids. And finally, after years of wearing him down, I said, you should get your get your kids a video game system. And it's like, okay, fine. So I helped him get a GameCube, and one of my younger cousins, she was probably 8 at the time, had no idea it was coming because all year that's what she wanted was a GameCube. And her dad kept saying, no, I'm not buying you guys video games because all you're going to do is get addicted to them. no, you're not getting it. So she just came to the understanding of like, nah, I'm not going to get it. So we wrapped it up and put it in this big box, and I bought a bunch of games and a bunch of controllers and put them in there, and told my other cousin, her older sister, what was happening, and she's like, oh God, this is going to be hilarious. So we gave her the box, and she was just expecting it to be like clothes or something. She opened it up and saw the GameCube stuff in there and like fell to her knees and started screaming at the sky and like crying all over the place. It was so funny.
I love those kid reactions to things. It's like the best thing in the entire world could have possibly happened to you.
Oh yeah, like she fell down over the top of it and was hugging it and just crying all over the place. There's got to be a video of it somewhere, but you know, me as someone like I can relate to that. You know, games are impactful, and she started playing Pokemon and got into the DS and started playing a lot of other games. It's just I was kind of the catalyst for it.
That's a sweet story. I like that. You know, and having kids now, I can't wait to give my kids give my kids their gifts this year. That's pretty neat. Good story, buddy.
Are you giving them any video games?
Not really. I don't really let them have their own yet.
Yeah.
You know, my oldest is 5. I'm gonna wait a little while for that. I kind of jumped the gun and let him have a 2DS, and he broke it like within a month.
Ooh.
So, and that kind of stunk. So I mean, I let him play my stuff just with time limits and stuff. But
how did he break
I'm getting
it?
Like a bias. He just his little brother actually broke it. He let his 2-year-old brother have it, and he threw it down the stairs. So there you go.
I remember one year around Christmas, I think it was Black Friday, I was working at GameStop. This lady, I think it was my first year there, this lady came in, and one of my buddies that was working there as well, he goes, dude, this lady, just, you'll understand. And she had a son named Carl, and you could just tell, like, something was off. And she goes, I need to replace a DS. I'm like, okay, what do you mean? What happened? And she's one of those ladies that when you ask a question, she tells you everything instead of just giving you the succinct story. Anyway, long story short, her son Carl has severe anger management issues. And they were driving out to California. And just by looking at Carl, you could tell like he was missing patches of hair. Like he'd pull his own hair out in chunks and just go wild. Oh. But he got pissed off at some game he was playing on his DS and turned it sideways and headbutted the back of it and snapped it in half. So she pulls this busted DS out of her purse. She goes, Carl broke it over his forehead. I'm like, oh my God. So you're gonna buy this kid another DS. It's just, that started one of those fun customer relationships for the next couple of years where she would come in and Carl would come in and it's like, what'd you break now, Carl?
So did you give him a refund for that kind of stuff?
Oh, no. We made her buy a new one, but I think that one stayed intact a little bit longer.
She didn't buy the...
asshole.
She didn't buy the Rage warranty?
Yeah, the Rage.
Don't make those anymore.
The Rage Smash. That's not accidental damage.
There you go.
So...
Dear God.
Yeah. You guys have any other fun Christmas memories? No?
I think you should take the silence as a no.
I just wanted to give you the opportunity, in the interim.
I was thinking really hard.
I don't know. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I feel like we would each have pictures of, like, ridiculous kid reactions to Christmas presents that I'm going to try to find. And I feel like that should be everyone's Christmas job. To find those kid reaction pictures.
I think I don't have a reaction one, but I do have one where it was the year that Parasite Eve came out, and it was quite literally the only game that was on my Christmas list, and my sister bought it for me. She's only a year older than me, so her saving up $50 to buy me a game was kind of a big deal. So we're sitting in the living room, and I open it, and my mom would always do the whole just pull us right out of bed, regardless of what we're wearing, and just here we go, gifts. And I think I was just wearing pajama pants and no shirt. My hair is all over the place. And I opened this gift and just like, oh my God, awesome. And I right then and there, unwrap it, just do a 90-degree turn towards the TV and put it in and start playing. My mom's got a picture of me. Like the rest of my presents are piled up behind me and I'm just playing Parasite Eve. Like, that's all I wanted was Parasite Eve and I got it. But as
So you just didn't even open any of your other presents.
Well, I did, but to this day, my sister's like, that's how he's still one of the biggest flattering things. You just opened it and played it right then and there. It's like if you buy a little kid a toy for Christmas and they open it and they just don't even care about anything else, you're just like, oh, I'm going to play with this now.
And then you're the asshole who buys that gift that makes everyone's gifts feel inferior.
Well, those other people should probably step up their game.
Do you guys still put video games on your Christmas list now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I feel weird
I never do.
No?
I know my parents will never buy them for me. Because we only do, we do like names from the hat thing, and we buy one gift for one family member kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Aren't there
So
only
if my
4
brother
members?
or his... Huh? No, there's 5.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, if my brother gets my name, then I'll put video games on my list. But anyone else, it's like, yeah, there's no point.
But to be honest, I think
I feel bad because they're like a big ticket item-ish.
Yeah, they're expensive.
I don't know. I just feel bad. Like, buy me a $70 game, please. Thanks.
Move to America. They're only $60.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and my wife likes the surprise gifts, so she makes me make a list of like 20 games I want, and then it stinks because like for a month I can't buy any of those.
Oh.
What's
So,
the
but
worst
I'm
though
always
is when
off-
you start opening the gifts, you're like, all right, I got this game, and then you have like 4 more Christmases to go to, and like you see the sales start popping up, and you got a gift card to burn. You're like, I just want to buy this.
Yeah. And I'm always off work like a week and a half during Christmas break, so I always want some type of game I can really dig into. So I'm always hoping that they get me the right one out of that 20 list.
Kev, I think in the 3 years that I've known you, you have been excited over exactly one game. So I can't imagine what games you'd put on your Christmas list.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, South Park. That was the only game I've ever heard you actually get excited for.
South Park and XCOM was pretty much it.
Oh, that's right, XCOM.
Yeah.
But that even didn't really count because I didn't even hear about it until like 2 weeks before it came out.
Yeah.
So that's not even a lot of time to build up the hype.
But South
But
Park,
yeah, the
you
South
were
Park
on the
game,
hype.
I was really excited. Oh man.
You were on that for months.
Well, we got a glimpse of it at E3,
Yeah, you made
and then
me
it
stand
didn't even
in
come
line.
out for
Yeah.
like 10 more months.
It looks sick, though.
I kind of wish I would have bought
Like
it when
all
it
the
was
pro
on
stuff?
sale for $16 a couple weeks ago. I passed it up. I thought of you as soon as that sale ended. I'm like, Kev would be disappointed in me if I told him that I didn't buy this.
Maybe you got it for Christmas. You don't know.
It wasn't. I didn't really have much on my list. Like the only thing I really put on my list this year was Final Fantasy or Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy Curtain Call, and then like Dragon Age and GTA 5 for PS4, and that was really it. So
Didn't you get the Final Fantasy one? Didn't you tweet about it or something?
yes, my
I feel like
wife
that happens.
bought it for me because it was on sale for Black Friday, and then she wrapped it up. So, which sucks because I know it's sitting under the tree, and I just want to play it. Which one? And she wraps everything like she's really good about making sure you don't know what's what. So even if I wanted to sneak it, I couldn't because I have no idea what it is.
Has anyone snuck a Christmas present? Like, did you guys used to spy on where your parents hid your Christmas presents or anything?
No.
All the time, yeah. My brother was so good at wrapping presents, we had to open them up and he'd rewrap them. It was great.
Oh my god! That's terrible!
I can't imagine doing that because that kind of ruins the magic of Christmas.
Well, it was great one year because I remember asking for a Power Rangers game on Super Nintendo, and I remember renting it, and it was awful. And then we unwrapped a present, and there it was. And I remember going and telling my mom, I really don't like that Power Rangers game. And then she went and exchanged it, so it worked out for my benefit.
I suppose that's good.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever done that.
But then
though.
did you have to pretend, like when you were unwrapping stuff on Christmas, did they ever catch you and be like, you weren't surprised?
Eventually, they caught on, and they just kind of started giving us money when that happened.
I actually ruined a Christmas present for one of my friends when did the PS2 come out? 2000? I think so. So I was a sophomore anyway. And my buddy was a freshman, and I had gotten my PS2 a couple weeks early, and from my grandma, of course. And I took it over to his house, and his his dad was a vice president of a bank or something, and they had a big TV in their living room. I mean, most people still had their like 19 or 27 inch color CRT tubes. He had a big projection TV in his living room, and he never wanted us to play games on it. It's like, no, go in the basement, play games. So I brought my PS2 over, and we're sitting in the living room, and Alex says to his mom, like, hey, Mom, can we play PS2 in the living room? And his mom comes storming out of the kitchen. She's like, Alex, that was supposed to be a Christmas gift. I can't believe you looked. And he looks at her and goes, you bought me a PS2? Like, he had absolutely no idea that his parents bought him a PS2, and I fucking ruined it by bringing mine over.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so good.
I still feel bad
That is
about
like
that.
the oldest trick in the book too. To like catch someone lying.
Yeah. I
and,
apologize.
you know, things like that are the reason that I stopped believing in Santa Claus, because I remember telling my mom I wanted something for Christmas, and then I turned around and said, I actually, wanted this, and she's like, I already bought that. I can't believe you. And I'm like, I thought Santa Claus was bringing me all my gifts. Like, it's 6 years old, crying my eyes out.
Santa's not real.
So
I
heartbreaking.
had to compare autographs that me and my cousin took from Santa to prove that there was no Santa Claus because our parents refused to tell us.
Did you guys actually believe in Santa growing up?
Yeah,
Of course, everybody did.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Really?
up until a point, obviously. Unless you're like a cold-blooded, no imagination American,
I never believed in Santa.
just like I said.
Really? You guys actually... I mean, I knew people that believed in Santa till they were in middle school. Like, are you fucking serious? Middle school.
I
don't
don't
know.
remember how old I was, but I fully believed in Santa.
I just
And the
don't...
Tooth
Like,
Fairy.
being a parent, and maybe, Nick, you can... Do you do the Santa Claus thing with your kids?
When before I had kids, I was like anti, like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not lying to my kids, blah, blah, blah. And now that I have a 5-year-old who gets real excited about things, I kind of backed off that a little bit.
Yeah.
So we're going out tomorrow to spread the reindeer food, and we're baking cookies tomorrow to put. I'm like, oh, I really fell for this. Watching his excitement kind of got me sparked. But then again, I don't really look forward to the day I have to tell him it's not true.
See,
I just hope he figures it out on his own.
I think I'm going to approach it in a different way with Ellie and be like, because Christmas for a religious person has a different meaning than Christmas for a non-religious person. So there, explain it to her like, this is one of the traditions that a lot of people hold, and a lot of people like to believe that this is real, and this is kind of the magic of Christmas, and this and that and the other thing. Kind of expose her to it from that aspect instead of like flat out lie to your kids about it, because that's how I view it. It's like, you're clearly lying, like, especially when the kids are like, Mommy, I don't think Santa Claus is real. Then the parents are like, yes, he is. Yes, he is. He is real. It's like, you're just lying to your kids at that point.
Well, and
But
to that,
Jesus.
yeah, and to that point, I come from a very religious family and an area, and when I found out Santa Claus wasn't real, I immediately started asking my parents, so you lied to me about our religion too? Is all this fake?
And that's the one thing that I'm concerned about too. So, but then again, I grew up in a religious family, and we never
when
really
I found out Santa Claus wasn't real, I immediately started
drove home the point of like Santa Claus. My family never really got behind that.
And it's so funny because my town is so traditional. We Santa Claus usually comes around on a fire truck on Christmas Eve. And so, and it's all the volunteer firefighters. And what happened this year is they're real short staffed, and they wanted to spend time with their family on Christmas Eve, so they moved it back to tonight. And people were outraged. And I got on a couple of the local forums, and literally people are like, "What are we going to tell our kids?" Blah 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 blah. They expect Santa to be here on the 24th. And my response was, "You're already lying to them. Just make something else up."
Yeah,
like,
make up
it's
another
not that
lie.
hard. But yeah, so it's just funny how that was so important to them.
That's funny.
Some fake Santa Claus. Yeah, you let these guys spend time with their family, for crying out loud. Next time your house is burning down, you get in a wreck, remember who's saving your life?
Santa Claus.
I was so bitter. I was like, you guys are ridiculous.
I don't know. I always take that approach. Like, I'm not going to do this with my kids. I'm going to do this with my kids, and then it's probably going to be a lot different as I get to that point. But
It is. I was right there.
my wife and I are both
Same
pretty
place.
against the whole Santa Claus thing, so I can't imagine we'll budge on that.
Yeah, but then you're just handcuffing your kid because he'll go or she'll go to school the first time, and it'll be all the other kids talking about Santa Claus, and here's little Ellie. Oh, my daddy says Santa doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And then all of those kids will hate her forever.
Whatever.
You're just condemning her to a life of bullying.
Well, at least I didn't give her a stupid name.
Really?
I was waiting for that.
I'm hoping.
You named her after The Last of Us. Come on.
Obviously, duh. Our next kid, whether it's a boy or girl, is Joel. Duh.
Jolie could be if it's a girl.
No, Joel.
Or Joelle, the actual feminine version of Joel.
I've never. Oh, Joelle. No.
Is that really a thing?
Yeah?
No, it's not.
Yeah, no, I've met a Joelle. Now it's coming. It's coming back now.
I don't think that's
Wait,
right.
how do you pronounce that? What is it?
Like Noel,
Joelle.
but with a J.
Oh, see, I know a lady named Joella. I've never heard Joelle. That's different.
Like Joelle, I think.
Like Jello.
Yeah.
Or Jo. Yeah. Huh.
Huh. The more you know.
The more you know. So, you guys have any other stories you want to share?
I'm getting excited for all these listeners who shot in some stories.
I was
I
actually
know.
super surprised with how many we got.
That was a fantastic segue, by the way. I like that.
Yeah. Just a hard
We
cut.
practiced it.
Yeah, so last week we had a bunch of people send in some audio clips, and we do have some emails here, so I kind of want to just read some of them first. If you have any emails, factorysealed@manatank.com. First one comes from Brennan. I just realized it was Brennan. I thought it was Brianna, so Brennan Byrne.
Close.
It is close. I got my first gaming system Christmas of 2002. It was a GameCube bundle that came with Luigi's Mansion. Immediately fell in love with the game, playing it every waking moment I was allowed. Beat the game within 4 days as a 6-year-old. This was when my mom decided that she would start limiting the amount I played every day. Felt more proud of myself than I ever had. I've been in love with video games ever since. Brennan. I never got a GameCube.
No.
I think I was scared
Me
off.
neither. GameCube is like the one system that I skipped.
I bought one
It was like
when I was working at GameStop, but it was just because I got it for like $20. And I never really bought any games for it. But yeah, I pretty much skipped that entire console.
Wow. Now, see, at that era was when I had a job. Like, I had 2 jobs right out of high school, and I bought every system. I felt like I had to have them all, but I loved the GameCube. I really did.
I remember sitting at a lunch table because we were in high school. We were talking about the new consoles coming out, and one of my buddies was just like, "I'm totally getting the GameCube," and I was the type of guy who's like, "I'm all PlayStation." I'm like, fuck that! Get PlayStation. It's gonna be so much better, and this and that and the other thing. It's got a handle. Like, what does a video game console need a handle?
It's got a handle.
And like that was the one thing we all latched onto is it's got a handle. How dumb is that?
It's got a little disc in it. Yeah,
it's got a-
that's funny.
Dumb disc.
Well, I hated the button layout of that controller, but that controller is one of the most comfortable controllers in my hand, I think.
Oh,
But
yeah.
The button layout sucked. Or it
The
wasn't like
buttons
the
were crazy.
yeah, well, it wasn't the diamond, but I don't know. It just felt real comfortable. But after I played Eternal Darkness, I had to get one. That was the game that kind of drew me in.
Okay, so how do we want to do these audio submissions? Do we want to just listen? We got to listen to Aaron's first.
Yeah, I don't know how this is going to work. I think it's going to go amazing, though.
Yeah, it's going to go
think so, too.
sweet. So here's how we're going to do it. So there might be a little bit of an awkward silence for the live streamers. I'm going to play Aaron's, and you three are going to listen to it through the stream. And then one of you three, I don't care who it is, one of you three is going to come back and just say something to let me know that you're done listening to it. Because I don't know what the delay is. So
Kev, it's all you.
I don't think it should be me because I'm having a little bit of trouble with the stream. So
you can't listen to it.
well, I mean,
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
I'm going to put it
Just
on
don't worry.
Jess. When Jess comes back and starts talking, then we know it's ready. All right. So
Okay.
I think I forgot to mention Aaron can't make it. He is driving to Christmas somewhere.
So he'll be home for Christmas.
Did he even say where he was going?
In his dreams.
Christmas Land.
Oh.
His brother-in-law, stepbrother, something brother's place.
I was too busy bragging about how cheap gas was. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so without further ado, here is Aaron's Christmas memory.
Hello, Factory Seal listeners. This is Aaron Robinson, one of the hosts of Factory Seal. He was unable to attend tonight, so I thought I'd send in this audio clip like the rest of the fans of the show and give a little Christmas memory and wish a shout out to everybody and tell everybody Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. So one of my favorite memories is actually a picture of it, so you can see on the Factory Seal Facebook page. It's me holding the Final Fantasy II game for the Super Nintendo. I was visiting my grandparents for the Christmas holiday and in Texas. I was living in Minnesota at the time. I just gotten my Super Nintendo the Christmas before that, actually, and was real excited to see what other games are coming out, things like that. And they had yet to come out with a Final Fantasy II game, or another Final Fantasy series, basically, on the Super Nintendo in America. And when I got there for Christmas, I was very surprised to open it up and actually find a copy of Final Fantasy II, because I remember I was talking about it quite a bit when I heard about it. And man, it blew me away that they got that for me. And the really cool thing about it is, my grandparents were the ones who actually introduced me into like the role-playing games, like Fact Xanadu and the original Final Fantasy, where we sat for hours, playing the game and leveling up. And they actually had beaten the first Final Fantasy before I had gone down there for a visit for a summer. So then I was able to play with them and actually beat it with them as well during the summer a couple years prior. So while we were there, they ended up buying the Super Nintendo for themselves, and we plugged the game in and started playing it together and getting to a certain point, got the save part on there. And then I moved back to Minnesota, and I came back from Minnesota break basically. I started playing the game by my own, and then they actually picked up their own copy because they had so much fun playing it with me that we've played together and talked on the phone and really talked about where we were in the game and how far we need to do or what the best advantage was to beat a certain boss battle and things like that. So I mean that's really cool. And I was about I must have been about 12 or 13, I suppose, and it's really cool to have that bonding experience with my grandparents. It stays with me today. So some of the reasons why I really enjoy gaming and has and who I am today. So based off that one or two experiences there. So, but yeah, that's I'll make that nice, short, and sweet. It's one of my favorite memories there from Christmas. But I'm hoping to hear a lot more from you guys as the show goes on. And thanks again for sending in your clips. Hopefully we can do this on a yearly basis or for more special occasions when people want to bring in things. Jess, this is for you. Merry Christmas. I hope Canada treats you well this holiday year, and you don't have any gluten over the new year. So, Merry Christmas. Eric, this is your first Christmas with your daughter, so that's got to be pretty darn exciting for you. It can be a lot of fun, a lot of good memories. Just remember to take lots of pictures, because in this day and age, it's easy not to take pictures, I guess. So you miss some of those candid moments if you don't get your picture out. So be one of those parents that has a picture out all the time. And, Nick, Merry Christmas to you and your family. Kev, I'm not sure if you're on, but Merry Christmas to you as well. And if you're not on, you're probably listening, so Merry Christmas. And to all the listeners of Factory Sealed, please have a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. Stay safe, drive safe, all that kind of good stuff. And we look forward to staying in touch in the future on the next show. So I'm done babbling on and on about stuff, and I will let you get back to the show. Bye, guys. And remember, Eric's going to ask. You can follow me at Quilted Tunic. All right. Bye, folks.
I think it's done.
And to all the listeners of Factory Sealed,
Anyone still here?
very Merry Christmas.
He's still talking.
You all
I
muted
am.
your mics, didn't you? There you go.
Yeah, we're
Mic's
here.
unmuted. Good job.
He was still talking for me, so how is it done for
He
you?
was still talking to me. He was saying Merry Christmas, Jessica, and you're like, oh, I'm going to interrupt.
Yeah.
Well, it was. He just kept talking. He kept talking. I love how he says he kept it short and sweet, and it was like 4 minutes long.
Yeah, sorry
You know
for
that's
the
gonna happen when someone says that.
sorry for the volume being kind of quiet. It's Skype automatically adjusts the iTunes settings down, so we'll just have to deal with that. No, I liked his memory about getting Final Fantasy 2. Is that the picture that he shared out a while ago with him looking all super nerdy and like, I got it.
Yeah.
Hey guys, look at this game.
It was.
That's cool. I remember, I kind of have something similar with that. I remember when the Wii first came out, that first Christmas, and I had bought it and took it to all of my relatives' Christmas just to show them like Wii tennis and Wii bowling, and because of that, it was kind of this catalyst within my family that everyone's like, Eric, you got to get us a Wii. Can you get us a Wii? And they were still in super short supply for months after that. So anytime they came into GameStop, I was always putting like one of my family members' names down on it, or a used one. I'd always buy it right away and give it to a family member. And it was kind of cool because then for the next couple years for family gatherings, everybody had a Wii and we'd all bring our controllers and play sports.
Cool.
Sorry.
Yes, sir. like, I'm just waiting for somebody to pick up here. Nothing. Just let the engine die on that one. Yeah, they're great. Fuck you.
None of us have so many video game Christmas memories other than you. It's like, yeah, and when I was 14, my parents got me $7,000 worth of video game equipment. And when I was 15, they only got me $6,000 worth of video game equipment, so I ran away for 2 weeks.
And then I dropped it on the driveway to be a dick.
Sorry. Sorry, I had a great childhood. Next one is actually short and sweet from Duncan Purcell.
Are we doing all of them and skipping, or should we just, because there's a delay, just pump through all of them and then chat about them after?
What do you guys think? Should we just pump through all of them? Because for the people that are listening to this on iTunes, it's just going to be pumped straight through.
Yeah, let's just pump through it, because then at least we know how long we're going to have to make people wait. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's not going to be a 15, 30-second delay after every one.
True. Okay.
Because then editing out all that stuff is probably going to be hard for you, so let's just do it the easy way.
Sounds good. We've got 5. Duncan Purcell, Christopher Elford. I'm just going to call him Vic Mees. I have no idea how to pronounce his Finnish name, but I apologize. That's the third one. It's probably going to be super drunk if I know Vic Mees like I know Vic Mees. And I kind of hope that it's super drunk, but I apologize in advance for any obscenities, but I really don't, because that's kind of who he is. Jason Reeves, Matt P., Michael Kelso, and our old friend Scale Enley sent one in. So we're just going to pump through these here. Again, I apologize if they are kind of quiet. I will see what I can do about making those louder without destroying the stream. So here we go, starting with Duncan Purcell.
My name is Duncan Purcell. I'm from Massachusetts, and I've been listening to Factory Sealed and Manatank since they became Manatank in 2011, and I was around for the Lord Voldemort cast. And my favorite Christmas memory is the one I can remember best, I should say, is getting an Xbox 360 in 2006. And when we got it, my brother and I were blown away, because all we've had before then was like the GameCube. And all of a sudden we had this graphical machine that was just, it looked beautiful. We had a game where you played as like a lady, I forget what it's called, it was like, it started with a K or a C, but it blew us away. It's really shitty looking back on it, but it's great. We also had a Need for Speed Most Wanted demo or something like that, and it was just brilliant. And That's about it. Love you guys.
Hello, Factory Sealed crew. This is Christopher Alford from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I can say that my greatest video game memory during the Christmas time was when my mom bought me my somewhat first two games for my Nintendo GameCube, and this was actually very interesting for me and I remember it so much because with our family, we all had different game consoles and whatnot. My younger cousin had an Xbox at that point. My brother had a PlayStation 2. He wanted it, and then I was that kid that wanted the Nintendo GameCube, and it was really mainly because of all those Sonic games that came out. And so when Christmas time came about, the first two games I really got for the Nintendo GameCube was Sonic Heroes and The Simpsons Hit and Run. And I would definitely say those games I love a lot, and I remember just having some great memories with them. I could definitely say I played throughout the entire week from Christmas to a little bit past New Year's, playing and 100% completing the Simpsons Hit and Run with getting the costumes, the vehicles, and the little trading cards and whatnot. And I can say that was the first game that I've ever completed. And so, once again, thank you, Factory Sealed crew, for making a very nice and lovely, podcast. I've learned so much from it, and I really do appreciate it, as being a fan and sticking through everything and whatnot. And, have a great Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year. Peace.
Hey Eric, Jess, Aaron and Nick. It's Valtteri, or Vikmies, or whatever the fuck you wanna call me, from Finland, or Western Siberia as I like to call it. As a man without a heart, I found it extremely difficult to actually remember any Christmas stories from my life, especially ones about video games. But there is one video game related tradition for me that I find increasingly interesting the more I think about it. Something that brings me and my friends together, something I find myself being excited about weeks in advance. Funnily enough, it's the Steam sales. Christmas was always about family to me, so the Christmas week for me usually consists of driving around the country to meet said family, thus leaving my friends behind. However, gifting someone the newest Barbie game for $1 and receiving the latest Nancy Drew title in return always made me feel like I never left home. It's strange that a company squeezing me dry of the money I've made selling my body can have such an important place in something as grand as Christmas. Valve has really succeeded in making Steam a crucial part of the gamer culture, and I think this is proof of it. During the past few years, the sales have become more and more money-grubbing and gamified with all kinds of frankly stupid ideas that almost force you to spend more money than you want to. Yet I do it every single year with a big-ass grin on my face. This is incredibly shallow and materialistic, so it's insane how it manages to make me feel all the more closer with my friends, despite the countries, oceans and kilometers between us. It's almost as if these dozens of people from around the world, from different continents, are somehow sitting in the same room, in front of the same fireplace, drinking rum and tea, giving each other lovely gifts like Putt-Putt and Pep's Balloon-O-Rama. Well, that's my Christmas thingamajig. Have a good one, guys. I love the show. Keep it up.
Hello, Factory Sealed. I'm Jason from Indiana, and my favorite Christmas memory is actually from when I was around 8 years old, and I was spending Christmas with my cousins, Tyler and Bailey. Now, these two, I'd take a bullet for because they're just great dudes. Real fun. Massive skateboarders, though. My favorite memory, anyway, is one day on Christmas, and unwrapped all those presents, got real into it. It was like Vietnam flashbacks and such. But after that, we kind of just wound down, just kind of hung out, and played a whole lot of Smash Brothers all day long. Now, I'm not particularly fond of Smash Brothers, but at the time, it was just playing with them that was so great. It was a lot of fun. And that is my most fond memory of Christmas.
Hey Factory Sealed crew. My favorite Christmas video game memory isn't anything amazing or special, but it is one that's very memorable to me. On Christmas of 2002, my sister and I got a GameCube. We had been wanting one since it was initially launched, but despite constant pleading and begging, our parents wouldn't budge. My sister and I were ecstatic when we saw we finally had a GameCube. We then proceeded to spend the rest of Christmas playing Super Mario Sunshine and Super Smash Bros. Melee. I hope everyone has an awesome Christmas and a hopefully not so hungover New Year.
Hola, Factory Sealed peeps. Michael Kelso here. I know you said you didn't want this to sound like a stinky butthole, but I'm going to send it to you via my phone anyways. And if you don't like it, Eric, you can just not play it. That's fine. Christmas memories. Most of my Christmas memories stem from having time off for the holidays from school and just really cranking out the games and trying to beat them. I can remember the great Legend of Zelda defeating that I did back in like 1989-ish. Super Mario Brothers 3 that I actually got for Christmas in 1990 and beat that one before I had to go back to school. Taking down Mike Tyson probably around 1998. I was much older by the time I was able to actually defeat Mike Tyson. Trying repeatedly to beat Jaws in high school with my buddy Justin is probably during Christmas break. We never did beat that game. Let's see. Also, I beat DuckTales probably on Christmas break sometime, probably in the early 90s, probably like 93, something like that. But that's where most of my Christmas memories come from in video games, is mostly on the NES and mostly playing during Christmas break, trying to beat various games. I mean, I got a few for Christmas. I probably got Mario, Super Mario Bros. 3. I remember getting the year it came out, 1990. And, I got Zelda here and there, and I got Mike Tyson. Probably most of my games probably came from Christmas, but I don't have distinct memories of them like I did, beating them. Most of my memories come from beating them. But anyways, that's my Christmas memories for you guys. And I was going to plug my show, but yeah, I'll plug my show. I've Two Dudes in an S. We had Aaron on our show, so I feel like I have the right to say, hey, some people might want to come listen to Aaron guest spot on our show. Oh, we had Nick on our show too, so there you go. Anyways, keep up the good work, guys. Glad to hear back. Don't take another break. I don't think I could handle it. Anyways, see ya.
G'day Factory Sealed crew, and welcome back to the interwebs. It's been dull without you. My name is Scale Enley, and I don't really have a Christmas video game nostalgia story, because Christmas for me usually meant a long boring day of pretending to be interested in the bloody cricket game my uncle was watching. But that's neither here nor there. My story is a New Year's Eve story, but not just any New Year's Eve story. New Year's Eve 1999, the big one. I was 15 years old. My parents were in town watching fireworks and celebrating like you're supposed to, but I wasn't. I was at home, playing through Terranigma on the SNES for the, I forget, nth time. I didn't even notice when the clock ticked over into the new millennium. At about 1:30 a.m. my folks get back home and, slightly inebriated, they ask me, Scale, which is of course my real name, Scale, why didn't you come with us into town to see the fireworks? It was a great night. You'll never get this chance again. What will you tell your kids when you're our age about this night? I stared straight at them, and I said, no one on this earth could ever do anything more meaningful than what I have accomplished this night. I have played through Terranigma for the shit I don't even know 10th time. Doth thee not realize the folly of thine own life spent not replaying SNES classics? Go now, take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy noob from out this room. Needless to say, they were stunned, but they could never know the satisfaction, no, the pure exquisite joy that is Terranigma. And you can too. Yeah, that's my story. Thank you. Thank you for so many great podcasts. Even the Toronto Batman one wasn't that bad. Don't be so hard on yourselves. Cheers.
Even the Toronto Batman show.
That guy is a die-hard fan.
Oh man, those are great.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the quality that came in. Did you guys ever watch any of those YouTube clips of those really awkward teenagers at Minecraft conventions, like walking up to the microphone and asking really strange questions like, do you have Asperger's? And if you do, how has it helped you in your career? Like, those are the types of things I was terrified that we were going to get.
Poor kid.
You guys got to watch those. It's so... like.
That's so sad.
I'm not making... Okay, I'm making fun of it because it's really... like, you're catering to your audience. But no, these sounded great. These were really good. And for those of you who submitted these, thank you. These were awesome. I like how Duncan made a harken back to the Voldemort cast. I like how that is carried on for, almost 4 years now. That... it's just a one-off comment. And for those of you who don't know what the Voldemort cast is, you've got a lot of Mana Tank podcasts to listen to. Anything stick out for you guys in particular you want to touch upon?
Out of their
stories, anything you can relate to or that you found to be particularly chat-worthy?
I just have to agree on how great everyone sounded. And I think that kind of... maybe we should organize ourselves a little bit better. I don't know. Sound a little bit...
I think that's the...
whatever.
I think that's the appeal of our show is, like, just pop the
Everyone
clutch and
show
go.
us up. That's cool.
Sometimes we show up. I like what Vic Mees had to say, and he was very coherent for being a spoken man. It's not uncommon for him and I to have. It's not uncommon for him and I to have a ton of drinks and yell obscenities at each other on Steam for hours on end while playing absolutely no video games. He had a good point about the Steam sales, and I think there's a whole category of gamers out there that we forget about, and those are the PC gamers. And in the past few years, PC gamers have kind of fallen out of the whole Christmas fold because how many parents know what Steam is or how to give games to somebody on Steam? So for them, it's like, how do you ask for a game? Do you just ask for a Steam card and then you get to go and buy what you want? But by that time, the Steam sale is already over.
Yeah, I mean, even places like Best Buy and everything like that, like there's hardly a computer gaming section at all.
Yeah, and if they are, it's we've got the Warcraft Battle Chest or the World of Warcraft collection. It's like,
yeah, and it's the one from 3 years ago, so it only has 4 of the 7 games that are out for it. So it's, thanks.
Yeah, I think the Diablo box set's been on shelves for like 20 years now.
Yeah, I still see that every time I go in.
I'm still happy it's there, though, because just in case I lose my discs, I know where I can go and get some more.
Yeah, your Diablo 1 and 2 discs.
Yes, sir, and I need those. Jason and Matt were both talking about Smash Brothers, and I have a bunch of friends that for them, Christmas was all about Smash Brothers, but like we talked about, I think I talked about this with you last show, Nick, was never got into it. For me, it's just Smash Brothers was never a thing. So, I don't. Are you, Nick? I know you are, but Kevin, did you ever get into Smash Brothers?
I played the N64 one a whole bunch, and then the GameCube one because one of my roommates had a GameCube and he was big into Smash Brothers. So I played those two a bunch, but other than that, not really any of the recent ones. Like the Wii ones, I've played maybe 20 minutes of each of them, kind of thing.
Yeah, I just never got into it.
Yeah, and then like his memory was talking about, it's really fun to get a bunch of people together and play those games. Even if you don't know how to play it, it's just chaos. I mean, I don't really think anyone's really good at. No, I'm sure there's people that are good at the game, but you're pretty much just running in the middle and hitting a bunch of buttons, see who flies off the screen first, which is kind of fun.
I see how Marvel vs. Capcom, like, there's skill to that game. Smash Brothers, isn't there one attack button?
There's multiple. There's like a basic attack, a smash attack, a special attack. So you got grabs.
Shows that I've never actually honestly played the game.
You could sing and put people to sleep and then throw them off.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, and Jigglypuff. That's you would think that'd be such a weak character, but
I kind of missed
He
it.
kicked ass.
Hey, Jigglypuff was my character. That was my
That's-
main.
That's who I played all the time too.
He's the best character in the game,
Sorry.
hands down.
Yes. And playing with your cousins was always so fun because, well, our cousins would always beat us. But
And
whatever.
you could yell
Whatever.
obscenities at him and get him all pissed off at you and know that you wouldn't have to see him till next Christmas.
Yes.
Hopefully they'll forgive me by then. I miss Nintendo Christmases. I think that's one of the things, though, that we could probably all relate to is Christmas is like getting video games from Nintendo or Nintendo consoles. There's just an excitement about that. And I think today's kids, like getting a DS or a 3DS or a Wii or a Wii U, I mean, there's probably that same nostalgic value down the road that we had getting our NES or our Super Nintendo or our N64s or something like that. There's just something about, like, I got this Nintendo machine, and I know that almost everything I plug into this thing is going to be quality.
absolutely. And I remember getting a Game Boy one year for Christmas, and gosh, it was so cool because we had Christmas, and a couple of days later we went on a road trip, and it was the very first time that I probably didn't annoy my parents on a road trip. I'm sure that was planned, but it was just so cool that I could sit there and try my best to find the right light in the window
Yeah,
so I could look at the Game Boy and play. But it was
Dad,
so
turn
awesome
right.
to have a video game. Yeah, it was so cool to have a portable video game system, and those kind of memories are great. Even though I got like Tetris and a bunch of junk games, and
Oh, dude,
I
don't
tried playing all
ever
the other
say
games.
Tetris on the Game Boy is junk. I still have my original.
No. I did too. But yeah, I mean, it was just like Tetris is like the only puzzle game I ever really got into real heavily at that age.
Yeah.
And it was fun. We passed it around the car to see who could get the best high score. So it was fun.
I remember a vague challenge that Scale sent out to us a while ago before we took our 6-month hiatus, and it was that if we played and 100% completed Terranigma, he would mail over to each of us a case of Australian beer. So I want to see, since I've got 2 weeks of laying on the couch, if I were to bump that up to the top of my list with Suikoden, if just I 100%ed it, if he would still mail that over. I don't know. Is Scale in the chat?
No.
No. Crap. He's 13 hours ahead of us. He should be. Whatever.
What a jerk.
I'll get in touch with him and see if he would be willing to modify that. But, everybody who sent one in, thank you. That was good. That was a much better turnout than I was anticipating. The first few days, we just got a couple that trickled in. I'm like, ooh, this might not work. And you guys pulled it through.
And something I loved hearing was, some of the younger folks. And don't ever, the guys with memories from childhood, from being an Xbox 360 or GameCube, and don't ever feel intimidated about that. There's so many hipsters out there who claim they're retro, and it's like a way of life, What? But I mean, I really respect people, are trying to reach out and try to understand what the old games are all about. So I respect. I saw somebody in the chat say that it was lame that they were talking about Xbox 360. That's not lame. That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool because that's what you associate with, and I like that because at that point in life, I was old enough to be purchasing my own video game consoles. So it's like, hell, this is out. I don't have to wait till Christmas for this shit. Buy it up.
Yeah,
bring it home, play it now. So that was cool. I like that. Anything else you guys want to talk about from the viewer submissions? No.
Silence.
Well, I think we should probably start wrapping it up. You guys got any fun Christmas plans for the next couple days? Jess, what are you doing?
Going to my parents and then going to Andrew's parents.
Just typical
That's it.
Christmas stuff, huh?
Typical Christmas.
Kev, what are you doing?
Yeah, pretty much typical Christmas also. Christmas Eve, dinner with family. Christmas Day, dinner with family. And then Boxing Day, nothing. I might go shopping, might try to pick up some PS4 controllers and maybe grab a game or two. Who knows?
What time do you get up to go Boxing Day shopping if you're going for stuff?
Oh, I get up at like whenever. I'm not the guy who's in line first before the store even opens for 3 hours kind of thing. If I show up and everything I want is gone, then I'll just go home with nothing.
That's such a foreign concept
Whatever.
down here, though, because we don't have
but
Boxing Day.
I see Boxing Day on the calendar, but I never know. I never recognize anything about it.
The first time I heard
It's
about
like-
it, I was talking to Dan Curtis, and it's like, yeah, I'm looking forward to the Boxing Day sales. I'm like, what the fuck is Boxing Day? And I'm thinking, like, does England have this big day where, like, everybody just gets together and fights? And, like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we box up all our stuff.
Yeah, it's like, I thought the Manny Pacquiao fight was later. I didn't know it was next week.
It's like a very tame version of Black Friday.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, but you
anything's
guys-
tame compared to crowd stamping or stampeding.
I was going to say, anything in Canada is nice compared to America and Black Friday.
Nick, what are you doing for Christmas?
Packing up the minivan, heading south to see my brother.
Oh, no. Am I bound for a minivan at some point in my life?
I went on and on and on for years saying I'd never get a minivan, and I gotta say it's pretty great. The automatic doors and all the space, especially when you got two kids, and putting them both in car seats.
Say it's true.
And the little DVD player that pops out. Oh, it's great.
I'm still holding out hope that I can get my Mustang again someday.
Yeah. Well, I'm a pretty tall guy, so like we tried SUVs out, and there's really not that much room.
Yeah.
And if my kids are going to be as tall as the rest of my family, we kind of needed more leg room. So definitely didn't want to cram them in. Because when I was growing up, we had a tiny little car, so I'd get to sit in the back seat with my knees up to my chest. And so.
That sucks. Well,
Yeah.
I'm just heading down to Tucson, visit my grandparents, and just go down for a day and come back. It's going to be a low key, but for once I get to be the guy that just sits on the couch and like, oh, yeah, I don't have to go set the table. I don't have to help get dinner ready and like bring me some eggnog and cookies. And it kind of sucks, to be honest, because that's kind of the best part of Christmas is doing all that stuff. And I just get to do it from the couch.
Womp womp.
Bump, bump. How's that for leaving a show on a downer? So I do think, well, do you guys want to try to do a show next week?
Hey, I'm off all week. I'm good.
Okay.
If you
We'll
wanna
talk
go.
about it possibly. If not, if you do not see a show from us next week, do not be alarmed. It is New Year's followed by my birthday, and then we go back to work. So
Well, you don't go back. Most people go back.
I go back on the 5th. I have to go back to work.
I thought you were broken for a month.
Yeah.
We can't all just take time off.
So the month is already over, is what you're saying.
No, I just had surgery on Friday. I can take crutches to work and get through the door to my desk.
Rush around.
Yeah. I mean, people can put in work orders. I can't promise they're going to get done. So, on that note, if you guys have any other Christmas stories you want to send in, maybe some stories from this year, just send them in as an email, factorysealed@manatank.com. Any emails that we did not get to for this show, we did have a few, but we'll save those for next show. Check us out, facebook.com/factorysealed. Jess, where can we find you on Twitter?
I am a Jess.
Kev.
You can find me at Dinner Dangles.
And you can find him and maybe me at the Manatank live stream next week.
Yeah, turns out when I plugged that earlier, I totally forgot to tell people where they can actually go to watch it. www.twitch.tv/themanatank. 7:30, January 3rd, Mountain Standard Time.
There will be a lot of drunkenness and not many shirts.
No, there has to be shirts now, otherwise we get kicked off of Twitch.
Even dude shirts?
Yeah, even dudes. Dude shirts is mandatory.
Wow. What if you took a picture of your chest and imprinted it onto a white shirt and wore that?
I think that would be fine. That would be totally okay.
Do it.
I think I can get that done by then.
I think you should do it.
That has to happen.
That would be worth $20. Nick, where can we find you on Twitter?
Hey, I changed it. It's not a good name, but it's an easy name. It's WV Nick.
All right, geographically relevant.
And West Virginia is a state, for those of you who don't think it is. So
Yes.
there you go.
And it's a song.
I hate that song.
You guys can find me at Honest Pizza. That is going to do it for the week. Thank you all for participating in the show this week, and have yourselves a Merry Christmas.
Thank you.